this game are much too high. It's not about cars, but if the world should die, do you believe in a destiny?
Today I'm going to take you through how to basically ink and color something. For a lot of you who are doing your Art Nouveau, Art Deco compare and contrast on the guitars, this will be kind of useful. So definitely give it a watch. If you're also thinking about using color pencils, these techniques will also translate. So hang in there. Let me get this camera started and we'll go to my sketchbook. And since I'm missing my markers, I guess I am stuck with the Sharpie non-bleed. Now, these aren't the best. They will function perfectly fine. But you got to remember as you're drawing with a Sharpie to actually lift your line before you're finished. Because if you stay too long in any one place like that, you see how you end up with a dot. It's not particularly an attractive looking line or method to a line. So what I'm doing with this guitar is I'm just basically taking and I'm inking all the frets and all the details that I want to look good. With your fret work, definitely a top and a bottom to that fret is important. And I'm making some minor alterations as we go. I already started this drawing, inking it in a much nicer marker, which is a little sad to say, because I would have rather continued. All right. Now, usually your neck goes into a body at some point. It isn't like that per se. There's no reason you couldn't build a neck that goes straight up to the body and then the body shoots out. But for some reason, they don't generally do that. All right, so I'm going to go over the tuning apparati. I'm going to make the slots go in different directions because you never know. Also take it all the way to the bridge. Boom, boom. And you'll notice, like, I'm not even pretending with these lines. I'm using a ruler. There's absolutely no way you could do string lines without maybe a ruler. Okay, now what else do we have? We have these weird pickups that I've designed here. I'm going to actually thicken up some of my lines here to make the pickup look a little more 3D. I'm also going to put in a line, even though I would like to be doing this with a much thinner marker, that shows where the bevel in the guitar starts and the bevel in the guitar stops. So at this point, what I would do is take an eraser. Doesn't take long, although I'm looking at my fret markers and I'm noticing they are not particularly inked. So I'll go back and ink those. If you can find a Sharpie that is a writing Sharpie, usually they are better for doing this kind of stuff. Of course, a Prisma illustration pen, way better than all of that. All right, I'm going to take this, and it only takes a couple seconds for that ink to dry up. Until I move some of the volume pots just to space them out, or volume knobs. Excuse me, just to space them out a little better. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, if this is deco, and that's exactly what I'm attempting to do with it, I would probably use metallics. Now, I don't have a metallic per se nice and handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with that black colored pencil. Sharpen it like I like it. And build up the contrast in these areas. So I'm going to make the outside around this circle darker. Now, when you go to shade with a Prismacolor, you go in an oval, just like when you're shading in any other thing, because you want to be able to take those little dots that exist in between the color marks, and you want them to be even. And because black Prismacolor pencils are so dark, you can actually do a little bit of fixing up your lines if they didn't quite meet. Um, and no one should really be the wiser at that point. So make that black. I'm gonna let my pick guard be white because I'm trying to keep this simple. And then I'm going to darken around here my tuning knobs for volume and tone. Um, Actually, as I'm looking at them, they're not too logical because there's only three and I've got four pickups there. But who knows? Maybe the bottom part turns and so does the top part. I'm just trying to get as close to those things as possible. If you have a decent sharpener, that really shouldn't be a problem. Or if you're really good with a knife, you can sharpen your pencils that way. That shouldn't be too bad either. Unfortunately, the pencil sharpener I have is less than satisfactory. And the thing is, when you get a Prismacolor and you initially sharpen it, the tip is so fragile that if you do not baby that from the get go, it will snap, and then your whole point of sharpening it was kind of lost. So even though I got a nice sharp edge on this, I'm not really trying to press too hard at this moment because it's still got that sharp tip that I know at any moment could break. My last area will be here. Oh no, that's a little untrue. I'm going to go real fancy, and I'm also going to color my headstock. Most companies just leave your headstock the color of the wood, but on the higher end guitars and basses, they will paint it the color of the instrument, and they will take the time to do that nice little detail. I am trying to remember if I have any guitars or basses where that is actually the case. Oh, yeah, sure I do. All right. I guess I just don't have any on the really brightly colored instruments. Now I feel a little awkward because really the only thing I got outstanding, I wanted to have some of this white and some of this black. But at this point, the only thing I got that's outstanding is this box, and that doesn't make any sense to leave that, the one lone white piece. So I'll color that section in too. All right. I'm going to come in here, and my frets, I'm going to leave white. And I might leave a little bit of space on either side of the strings, basically because really your guitar strings, your bass strings should all have thickness, bass strings even more than guitar. But we did not bother to do anything about that when we drew them. So I'm just leave a little space there so I get kind of that weird reflection section that I get when I look at a neck. All right. So as I look back at this neck, there are a few loose spaces. I might try to connect up just a little. What dots did I miss? Which hanging chads are not floating there? All right. Now, since I cannot find off my silver, I'm just going to go with my gray color pencil. Put some gray in there. And that will handle the silver for now. Maybe I'll leave a little bit of white. All right, now, would this be different with a Nouveau? Sure, because you'd have earth colors, greens and browns and things. Probably absolutely no metal whatsoever. Now, could I change the color of that by throwing some yellow on top of that brown? Yeah, I could change it a couple different ways. I could put some white on there and make the brown lighter. And I could go that route. Or I could try a little bit of orange. Sometimes it's worth the couple of seconds it's going to take to see what that would look like. I mean, I'm assuming most of you have a blender. All right. So I make that kind of weird wood color, and that really doesn't bother me too much. I'm just going to kind of put that over the entire thing, thus making my fret markers kind of this outstanding orange. And I'm going to go back and put a little bit of that orange in here just to kind of bring you all the way through the instrument. All right, so it ties it together neatly. So that's how you would just do regular Prismacolor, and you'd come back with your blender, stir that in, make that all nice. Really kind of just get a feel for it. If you don't have a blender, yes, you can blend with white, but that's going to mess up your black. So hopefully you have the actual blending pencil. It appears I am missing one at the moment, which is crazy. I've got 1,000 pencils here. All right. But that's essentially how you go back and start to color things, make it look nice. You could even put kind of a shadow on here if you want to make this look curved, which would blend out nicely as well to kind of give this a rounded effect to this white area. Make it look really 3D. All right. So that's about it. I will try to do another one with color marker underneath. I thought this was going to be the one I'm going to do it. That I was going to do it too, but I literally have like 5 minutes before my next class starts. So I'm going to have to cut it short there. Maybe I'll come back and add that to this video. Maybe I will not. Maybe I'll just do another video.